Okay, so we're going to do a quick recap of fixing foam issues with the cart. So I'm going to start with the most common ones first and then go into the more complex. So number one, let's look at the red cap. So if you're producing good foam in the beginning and within 5 or 10 minutes you get almost little or no foam production, you've left this red cap on the back of the cart. It's only there for transportation. That keeps the liquid from coming out in the van when you have it laying on its side. But once you use it, I just take the red cap off and I put it in a tray or somewhere where it's out of the way and I'm not going to lose it. But you don't run the system with this red cap in place. Okay. Number two, make sure that you put the appropriate chemistry at the appropriate dilution ratio in the tank. Again, I can't tell you, I've gotten dozens of phone calls, people, and that's what it was. They didn't even put a chemical in there. They forgot to add it, or they put another chemical in there that had to do with an acid etcher for grout, and the technician couldn't read, and the labels looked close to him or something, and he put the wrong chemistry in the tank. So make sure you've got the appropriate chemical. The couplers and the nips that are attached, that looks like it's attached, but it really isn't. You just got to make sure that it's attached appropriately. You should hear that snap and click in place, whether it's the air or the liquid, not just at the electrical panel on the cart, but also at the foam generating box, that you hear that snap in place and it's just not sitting there. So make sure that those nips are seated properly to the appropriate coupler. Again, you can't put the wrong coupler into the wrong location, but you can have it hang there and it wouldn't be lodged properly. So you pull the sleeve up, you push it in, the sleeve comes all the way down and it clicks in place. Number four, you've got your filter. I put it right there so it's easy to get to and everyone can see it. That's a daily reminder. You're going to unscrew this cap. Again, it doesn't filter from the outside, it filters from the inside. So you can't visually look at it and it looks clean. It's not clean because you see the debris is on the inside. You got to pull this off, take it to a sink, rinse it out really well on the inside and out. Make sure there's no chemical residue or debris on it. You snap it back in place. You make sure the black O-ring is attached. There's no cracks in the what they call the cup part. You screw that back on. That filter's good to go. So number four, the troubleshooting. Then once we've checked all the common things, is can we hear that ticking noise from this diaphragm pump? If we hear the ticking, we know the clog is below the filter. If we don't, we know the clog is above the filter. If it's below the filter, what we're going to do is we're going to take off, this is the configuration, we're going to dislodge this black line from the bottom part of the filter. And then we're going to take our pipe cleaner and we're going to put this in and work it down, dislodge the clog, bring it back up. We're going to open up our ball valve and run the liquid through there and dislodge whatever was clogging it into the drain so it doesn't happen again. Then we're going to come back and we're going to reattach the black tube to the filter and then you're good to go again. Okay, so that's if it's below. If it's above, we're going to look for the choke point. We know it's not debris, it's a chemical issue. So if you look at where our solution coupler is, it's on the far left-hand side, and there's a quick connect on everything on this panel is quick connect. I can take the whole thing apart with the exception of these outlets, all come off on quick disconnect. So it makes it easy to work on. So we're going to dislodge this, get that out of the way. We're going to put a rag back here, take our cleanout kit with a single line, and we're going to attach it to the front of this, turn on the water, and it's going to flush it through the back. If that's not where the clog is, then we come over and we use the clean out kit like we did earlier on the black box. If that's not the issue, we know it's the tether, and on the tether, again, you've got two water nips on either end that have a quick disconnect on them, or the check valves, and it could be one or the other. So the only way to test that is to do one at a time, but you have to dislodge one of them that we're going to re-engage afterwards. It's only about 1/8 of an inch. You're pushing the barb down in there, it goes into about 1/4 inch, and so they're easy enough to reattach to the line. We're going to hook those back up, and if we don't get water flow on the one, then we know it's the vice versa one. So, but that allows the water to flow through without it being check valved when we're trying to take it. Again, it's only happened once in 9 years, but it could happen. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is the volume of foam. So, we've got a needle valve that sits right on the back side of this air coupler. And it looks just like a watch dial. It turns clockwise. What happens is you're restricting the amount of air, you're reducing it. And if you keep turning it all the way down, you'll start hearing a loud popping noise, because the air compressor is a continuous run air compressor. It has to run all the time, which means it's producing air. That air has to go somewhere. So if you're restricting the air from getting into the system, that safety valve that we talked about will start making a loud popping noise, because we've reached 50 pounds of pressure in there, and it's trying to release the air. So that bang, bang, bang is telling you you've got this dialed down way too far. So you start turning counterclockwise, and you're adding air back into the system. When you add air back into the system, the volume of liquid goes down because you're increasing the air, so you get a drier foam, but it's less foam. You go clockwise, you're restricting the air, so you get more foam, but it's a wetter foam. So they're opposite of each other, because of, again, the pressure is the same on the liquid and the air side of that system. And again, it's all check valved, and it's all quick release. I can push in and dislodge it completely, go to put it back in, click it in, so you never have to take off this electrical panel. Everything can be detached from it without taking it apart, but that's what the back side of it, you get a better visual of it.